bins. My business is based in Reading, Thames Valley, as far as London, but quite limited to where I can actually do my business. My business is, I run a drone school and an aerial imaging company. We take video and photographs of anything which is difficult to reach by a human and is abhorrently expensive to do by helicopter or light aircraft. We can get access to places like underneath bridges, and we can look for cracks in concrete. We can also add thermal imaging cameras to look at crops, and we can map entire fields and tell them where the crops are failing, where it isn't obvious to the eye, even when you're walking through a field. It's been part of my life since I was about 7. I got into St Edward's, and my dad said if I passed the entry exam then he would get me a glider kit. He said glider, he didn't say kit. And so that led to me having to build my own present, which as it turns out was half the joy, and I really enjoy that sort of technical side of it. I learned how to construct an aeroplane, and I've done about 50 in my life, and a lot of them have crashed, but you know, some of them, as you can see, still survive. When I got made redundant a few years ago, I just decided it was the time. I didn't really make any money out of the deal. It was just something had to change, and I started pursuing this as it was my childhood passion. The best way to succeed in business, the only way to succeed in business, is to actually start being in business, to make that one thing that you know is the one which is committal. It's final. You are now actually trading, and it doesn't mean actually going out and selling something. It means, you know, getting the loan, getting the equipment, going out, talking to clients, and acting as if you are a businessman. And at some point you'll realise that people start treating you like a businessman if you act like a businessman, and you kind of pretend to be the person you want to be until you're them. I think I just enjoy the stress. Flying these things is incredibly stressful, as you've seen. You know, you've got a lot of money up in the air. There's a lot of heads which you can thump into the ground below you. Property everywhere that doesn't belong to you. Huge liabilities. You know, we've got to have sort of multiple £1 million worth of cover for insurance. I think I'm only on 10 mil, but certain criteria insure me up to 25, so yeah, it's kind of scary. When I go out there, I'm almost, you know, scared rigid of smashing it into something. So no, that's unpleasant, but it's when it lands again and you've brought it back and you know that there was a lot of skill in actually doing that, and the chances of somebody else achieving the same thing in those conditions, like, you know, the wind that was today, it took a lot of work to get that back down again, and most people could have panicked in that situation, and I didn't, just through experience. So there's a lot of pride in that. Make plans, make sure you're covered up to a point, and then wing it. And life is about winging it. People will support you if you're doing this sort of thing. People are happy to see you do it. They want to see you do it, because then that gives them the strength to do it. I wouldn't have done this if I hadn't seen other people do it. Avian Imaging, which is the photographic and video side of the company, is just one part of it. Then we have Avian Academy, which is actually run as a completely separate company for tax reasons. And all it is just registering a different limited company. And that's the one that teaches people and produces training manuals and so on. I think for me, the money in this industry, as it starts to saturate, which it will over the next 10 years, is going to be in the training. And then after that, once there's thousands of schools, because people realise it's lucrative, then it will be in being innovative and developing. So the idea would be to learn as much as I can about the industry, from flying, from teaching, while always keeping a very open mind to where the next avenue could be. When I've spoken to you guys and I've been to your open days, and I've come along to the courses, obviously I met you guys and I've sat down and sort of spoken one-to-one with a few of you, and each one has given a nugget. I've taken one nugget out of everything that they've said, which I think suits my business. And not only that, but feeding off their enthusiasm and the enthusiasm of the people in the room with me, and they've all got something different. Somebody's making cakes, somebody's selling pottery, and just looking at the enthusiasm of all these people, and they're just doing it. They're doing it like it's the most natural thing in the world. Like, I bake at home, I bake and I sell.
You know, real simple. I fly models, let's go make some money at it. So yeah, I certainly fed off everybody that was there for enthusiasm, but I'm pretty sure that I will be tapping into you guys a lot more in the future,
Cool.
especially on the sort of marketing side, as things are going to get tougher in my industry.